Hi everyone, and welcome to week 5. This week the emphasis is on visual storytelling, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the technical challenge I'm giving you for this week, and that is to make a video. It could just be a talking head talking about the power of videos and pictures on the web, or it could be just a screencast showing the text like I've been showing you here, talking about particular images. For example, I'm going to talk about our use of video at African Soul, American Heart, so it could focus on something like that. Or it could do a mixture like I use here, where I show you my caption, or my avatar down in the side, and then try to show you the text as well. I don't have a lot of information here on how to do that sort of thing. Let me say quickly that I would recommend using the Technology Learning Media Center on campus as one resource. I use a piece of Mac software called ScreenFlow. Camtasia is available on campus and for PCs, and would have good support at TLMC. And there's also a program called Jing, J-I-N-G, that allows you to at least make 5-minute screen capture or vlogs, video blogs, and save those to their server and share them with the class. So that's what I'm going to say about the technical aspects. I'm happy to try to answer some questions. There's also lots of good information available on the web if you just do some searching. Let me say one more thing before I give you a little sense of what I'm asking for. You might be wondering why video blogs or why make a video. I think the obvious answer is that the power that's in a video and image communication is unquestionable at this point in time. And so we need to be able to work in that medium. I know many of us are English majors, and I am still a textual person in many ways, but I've had to move myself into video and certainly still consider myself a learner in this area. But that's also part of participatory culture, which is very much connected to the web and to the use of video, is that a little bit of that freeing sense that we don't have to be experts in something, that in a participatory culture we are all generous readers, and we will be generous readers of one another's, or watchers of one another's videos. And finally, a lot of former students have found themselves working in video even with little or no training. So my hope is that by working through the challenge of this week, that you will have a leg up and that you will be comfortable working in video in the future, because it is likely to come your way. So I've got the readings here, and I am asking you to do a reasonable amount of reading this week, a chapter and a section from our 2 main texts, as well as links to some additional articles about Pinterest, which doesn't get covered in our texts, and Instagram. And I'd be really interested in hearing your thoughts on those 2 sites and services, to see how you see them comparing and contrasting with YouTube and Flickr, see how you're using them, see how nonprofits are using them. But what I'd really suggest for your essay, your blog essay number 4, when you make this video essay, is to find a case study. I really want to get the focus on organizations, and within that focus case study, also look really specifically at the kinds of uses of video and photos, YouTube and Flickr, or YouTube and other services, and see what kinds of videos they're making, see what kinds of messages they're trying to present in those videos and in those pictures. Tell us how you're reacting to them. Do they seem to be effective to you? Do they grab your attention? Do they get you interested in their cause and their people? Those sorts of things are the kinds of questions that I think you'll want to answer in blog essay number 4. So when I talk about doing a case study here, and I've identified an organization that I'm involved with, what I would mean is I'm just going to do a quick overview here, a quick flash through, is I would just say come to our website and look at how we use the video. For example, we've got 2 right on our main page. This one happens to be a very short one. This one happens to be one of our longest ones at 12 minutes. I think the short one's about 30 seconds or a minute. It's very short, just girls saying thank you to their sponsors. So that would be a start, but then if you navigate through our site, you'll also see that we have some photos, and I posed back on the schedule that we actually have thousands and thousands of photos, and we've definitely underutilized them. I'd be interested in hearing what any of you think, if you look at these, what we have done with them, some ideas for how we can use them. We've actually made more use of video, even though we probably have a better collection of photographs. And I'd be interested here just in seeing that collection, getting your impression of these different videos. Again, we've varied them in length from 8 minutes, 6 minutes. We've all the way down to a 2-minute trailer from our original documentary. This one, the Traveling Panties, is one that I'll claim as having made. The other ones, I've had some contributions to some of them, and others no contribution whatsoever. But this one's really different in that I try to tell the story of our traveling panties, and I try to do it without an audio, try to put music to it. So I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on how that works for you as a reader or viewer. I'd also encourage you to go to our page. I won't let that start. I've also got it over here. So here's our channel, and then you can get a full sense of our videos and sample them there. And then I would also say, just if I'm showing you this, not that you should look at ours, but if you do look at an organization's, notice how they'll embed some videos, but then they might also have a YouTube channel. You can look at that, and it might give you some sense of how we're doing. We don't actually get an awful lot of views over here. We're not getting a lot of comments. Social Media for Social Good has some ideas that we probably need to be putting into place a little bit more effectively, and trying to use our videos more effectively than we are, because we do spend a lot of time and effort putting them together. So that would be the case sample, and I mentioned also back on the course site that we have Pinterest, and you could go take a look at that and other things. Another local organization that you could take a look at would be Charism, and they also put a video right on their page. It was less clear to me, because I don't know their organization as well, whether or not they would have a YouTube channel, but in fact they also have a channel, and so you might want to take a look at that. I'm going to hang down here at the bottom for a minute, just because they were clearly using videos as in 2011, and I think there's a 2012 one here as well, for the Giving Hearts Day. Maybe this is it up here, and that's coming up in Fargo. If you haven't seen already, this will be a great thing to pay attention to the next 2 weeks. Is that in February 14th in North Dakota, donations made to select organizations will have, those donations will be doubled by, I believe it is the either the Impact Foundation or the Dakota Medical Foundation. I'll have to double check on that, but it's going to be a really interesting week, the next 2 weeks, to watch local organizations and see how they get their message out, whether it is through videos and images, about this really important day of fundraising. And so I would encourage you to take a look at a couple of these and see how you think they're doing. Take a look at their longer, I believe this is about a 9-minute video, see if that tells the story of their organization and the people that they're working with effectively. Alright, so I see I've taken myself away. So I'm hoping that's just meant to give you a sense of how to handle this week's assignment on visual storytelling. I did put the emphasis there on video, but you would also be welcome to look at Flickr. I have been suggesting to you that you look at local, those two, but also look at some of the national and global leaders like Charity Water. These videos are amazing, quite a gold standard in terms of video production. You can see they have quite a collection there. Even just the way they display their collection embedded in here is probably more effective than what we're able to do with our small local organization. So please do take a look at some of these and get a sense of how they're handling videos and just how they handle images. You know, they use anywhere from sort of information graphics, but then I think this will rotate through, you know, stunning photographs as part of their banner, and then also trying to make clearly a strong visual point that doesn't need very much textual explanation. So that's the kind of work that I'm asking you to do. I think I hope it'll be clear enough to you after you read about YouTube and Flickr and Social Media for Social Good. We sort of moved past a little bit of the emphasis on the 140 characters, although I do think you might notice in these videos too that short text becomes very important. So the short form isn't just limited to status updates and tweets, but it's also the kind of text that accompanies video. Video doesn't handle text very well, and so short, bold text really becomes important here. And hopefully that's enough of a prompt to give you some ideas for thinking about what I'm calling blog essay number 4, and I do really hope that you are all excited about, a little nervous about the challenge of making your own video. I left a couple of other things in here that I used last year that were just so good. There was a lot of interest in this week last year, a lot of trepidation about making videos, but people thought some things were fascinating. I do just have to recommend Life in a Day. If you haven't seen it, it's a YouTube movie that really gets at the issue of participatory culture. It's made up of clips sent in by people, thousands and thousands of people. There's also Michael Wesch is an anthropologist who studies the web, and I pulled out about a 10-minute clip from one of his videos, and I think you might find that an interesting supplement to this week as well. I hope that gives you a good overview of what you're going to do. Obviously, I need to flesh out weeks 6 through 9, take us up through spring break in terms of details. Do remember that the full course schedule is also here. It's not that I don't know what we're going to do in 6 and 9, I just haven't gotten around to expanding out on those. And so I'll try to get those up this week and preview next week for you next Sunday. Hoping for a good, strong week, following up on conferences and getting caught up, and looking forward to seeing what you can do with your videos.